Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey folks, welcome back to the show. I'm your host Dylan Silver, and today on the show I have Jennifer Fawcett in Iowa, real estate entrepreneur. Jennifer, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Dylan. I am happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
We're happy to have you. Let's start at the top. A lot of people will see the success, they'll see the rental portfolio, they'll see the fix and flips, but they won't see the beginning, right? What was the entry point for you like into the real estate space?
Well, I have 5 children. I waited till they were a little bit older before I started looking into some real estate properties. I've stayed home with my kids, so it wasn't until I had my last one and he was a couple years old that we said, hey, we've got some equity, or we've got some money built up in our bank accounts. Where do we put this? Where do we invest? And we chose the alternative asset route. And so I started looking just on Zillow for some properties, got in touch with a realtor, put in some offers, didn't get those offers. That was pretty discouraging. But a couple months later, the realtor got back to us and said, hey, this owner, they've dropped the price. They like your original price. Let's do this. So we actually partnered with the realtor. He bought one of the duplexes. We bought the adjacent duplex, and we just jumped in.
That's a good realtor. You're doing deals with the realtor. He's doing deals. I like that. Jennifer, how many offers did you have to make? You mentioned making a bunch of offers. How many did you have to make?
Well, when I say offer, we analyzed probably over 50 deals. Offers, we probably put in about 20 real offers. I looked at so many different properties and analyzed, and it takes a long time. We were using BiggerPockets analyzer tool at the time. So we analyzed so many different properties and tried not to fall in love with them, tried not to get too attached when we put in an offer. And I've learned that the hard way now, having put many offers in. But it was probably around 20, maybe 30 offers.
So without giving away all the gold, I'll actually tell you a little bit about what some of the people that I was working with and I'm going to be doing here shortly. So we were making offers earlier this year at about 70% of ARV minus repairs, which is just a pretty standard formula, on like everything that we could on the MLS in our area. So we put in like 120 offers in 2 months, and we had 2 get accepted. And I now have spoken with investors in Chicago, and they were like, you were doing 70% of ARV minus repairs? We're doing 50. So wow. If you can imagine the kind of huge number of volume and offers you have to make, so 20 doesn't sound too bad to me.
Mm-mm. No, it's not too bad. And I think that's because we were working with our realtor friend who, was kind of helping guide us and hold our hand through the process to know, that we weren't throwing too many low ball offers out there.
Jennifer, what were the next steps like for you after that first deal?
Yeah, so that was a BRRRR. If you're familiar with that, many of your listeners probably are. We bought the property using a home equity line of credit. We had some equity built up in our home. We flipped it. We brought all of our kids on site, had them swing a hammer, pull nails out of the floor, taught them along the way. It was a grueling process, but they learned a lot. We learned a lot. rented it out, refinanced, and we're ready to repeat that. And then we did that each year we added on a new single family home in the process. So we just kept building, kept adding, kept bringing the kids alongside and just building our portfolio.
What year was that first deal?
2016.
So you did about a home a year for 9-10 years. So you've got...
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
So no, we only did 5 of them. And so we now, in 2021, we decided to pivot to multifamily. We realized that the duplex was cash flowing a whole lot better than the single family homes were. And so we decided to see how many doors can we put under one roof, because that seems to be the way to go. And once we started analyzing, and actually I pivoted. I was listening to mainly just strictly single family home podcasts, and I decided I need to start listening to podcasts and reading books about asset management of multifamily properties, large apartment buildings, and how do I do this? And then we quickly realized we needed a mentor, somebody that was going to coach us through this process when we're dealing with investor capital and things like that. So we did hire a mentor through a program.
That's the way to do it. I tell people this. You want the fastest, quickest way to shortcut learning curve or to shortcut time. The quickest, fastest way is put yourself in a room. And sometimes you got to pay to be in those rooms, or in your case, a mentor. And so you saw this opportunity in the multifamily space. You said, well, we're doing one a year here, and that's great, but we see this duplex that's really cash flowing like crazy. How do we get more involved in that? You hired the mentor. And from the point in time that you hired the mentor, when was the next time, or when was the next deal that you did in the multifamily space?
Yes, so it was 9 months after we hired a mentor, and the mentorship program was a year-long program, intensive, where we took classes, we learned how to underwrite, we used a tool that most syndicators who are just people that put large apartment deals together use, and we learned how to underwrite these deals, how to talk to lenders, how to talk to brokers, and acquire these larger properties. But between the time we started the mentorship program and we worked with our mentor and we closed on a large apartment, was 9 months. But we stayed in the program for a couple more months to finish out the courses.
That's a pretty good turnaround. So you have this now, you have your rental portfolio, you have the multifamily deal. How many doors was in that multifamily deal?
136.
So you go from single family to then 136. That's a huge jump.
Yes, it was a huge jump. And I should be very clear that we are on the active side of that. We are a GP, a general partner in that deal. However, we are a small partner in that deal. We have a mentor who is the lead sponsor. So we are a co-sponsor in that deal. But we are on all of the property management calls. We're learning about how to run a property like this, of this size. And so it was pretty exciting. And we've just been off to the races ever since.
How many people are in that syndication?
So there's, are you talking about active GP or LP investors as well?
Yeah, LP, anybody who's invested in 136
There's over
doors,
20
right?
people. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be a lot, right?
Yeah. When you're talking about a $50,000 minimum, typically, and it can take a lot of people to come up with a $10.9 million purchase price. So
sure,
plus the loan on the bank. So yeah.
I'm familiar with this. I think syndications are an awesome way for all people to get involved in real estate, whether you're going to be more active like yourself, or whether you want to be active in some capacity without having to swing a hammer, so to speak. I've actually had another podcast guest on the show here who was talking about a real estate syndication that she runs out of Houston. It just got me thinking, what a great way for people to get more involved or involved in some capacity in the real estate space.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Yes, it's a fantastic way, and that's actually something I'm really passionate about. Is I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I knew that I was going to need to build some income, and I love real estate. I'm passionate about it, but when we started sort of burring these properties and rehabbing them, a lot of people were kind of watching, and I was trying to get my friends excited about this. You can do this, you can flip
Yes.
properties, you can wholesale, you can do all these things, and they're looking at my Facebook page and they're looking at my newsletters and they're saying, I don't want to do this. This is not something I want to do. But so, when I tell them about syndications and what we do now, I love telling my stay-at-home mom friends, I love telling my friends that have young kids and they're just super busy, that they don't have time, but they have the resources. Let's say they both have, solid W-2 jobs, or maybe they just have a spouse that has a W-2 job. I say, you know what? You can park $50,000 into a syndication and be hands off as a limited partner and just reap the benefits of having real estate in your investment portfolio. I'm very passionate about that. I want people to know about that they don't have to be active investors. They can be passive investors and enjoy the benefits, the tax benefits of owning real estate.
Are we going to see a Jennifer Fawcett syndication fund coming up sometime soon, maybe?
Oh, I just was talking to somebody about the fund structure, and right now we're just doing single asset structure. But it's an interesting thing to think about. I think there's advantages and disadvantages. We're not there yet. We're just taking it a single asset at a time.
Sure. When I think about you talking about communicating with your friends about real estate, I was working for Nissan in San Antonio. I'm in Dallas right now, and I was super stoked about my buddies. Hey, let's go look at wholesale deals. We can look at fix and flips. Let's figure out this whole real estate thing. You can do cash for. I had limited idea of what anything in real estate was. All I knew was that at the time I was 27, 28 years old, and it was super expensive to buy homes, and it still is. And I was like, well, I don't know how I'm going to afford to be able to do that. But what I do know is I might as well figure it out, because I'd rather be on the appreciation side of it than the inflation. And what I saw, Jennifer, was just a total distancing. People were like, nah, you're crazy. There's no way that we're going to be able to do this. And so when I made the jump 2 years ago into wholesaling and started to get my feet wet, I really started to see that some people just it's not going to be for them, right? And you can't convince. I'd say you can't convince most people. So when I talk to someone like yourself, who stay-at-home mom in the real estate investment space, I think we need 500 more people like Jennifer Fawcett, because I want every American, not just myself, to be able to take advantage of what I think is the greatest life-transforming financial tool, owning real estate.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're passionate about that too. We want as many people, friends of ours, to own real estate and to own it at the capacity that they can handle it. So we're trying to just get the word out there to our friends and family. And now, there's in the syndication world, you are able to market to friends and family, and also beyond that, depending upon how you structure the deal. And so we've told a lot of our friends and family. Some are interested, some are not interested, and now we're trying to really build our sort of behind the scenes platform so that we can get to people that aren't friends and family necessarily, but still make a connection with us, whether they like the Midwest because that's where we're investing, or the states that we're investing into, or they like our story. I try to get our story out there. We have 5 kids. We've taught them about real estate. We've taught them about business. I actually homeschool them, so they've been on site on these projects. They do some of the tours with me and things like that. So sometimes people resonate with your story, and so they're more apt to invest with you. So we're just trying to get the word out to as many people as possible.
Yeah, I think when it comes down to investing in something as large as a real estate asset, it can be scary. I'm sure you can empathize with that. But now they even have fractional investing. Have you heard of this?
I haven't, but maybe it's worded a little differently. Maybe I do know. Help me understand.
So it's basically people can invest partially without taking on massive amounts of financial burden. So you can invest in a real estate project for $2,000 to $5,000, depending on which of these services that you go through. I know there's a couple not affiliated with us, fractional.app. There was another one that we had actually on the show here. I'm trying to remember the name of it, but this person had actually allowed their members to invest in luxury real estate in Los Angeles through fractional investing, kind of like if you would go into like a Cash App or a Robinhood or some of the brokerages like SoFi. You can do fractional investing. Instead of buying Berkshire Hathaway stock for however many thousands of dollars it is, you can do a fractional investment. And so people aren't aware of this because it sounds so radically different that you could like fractionally buy real estate, but it's out there and it's another tool that people can use.
Yeah, and that's great because you do you will, a $50,000 minimum isn't going to work for some people, but a $10,000 minimum might,
Yeah.
So that is an interesting concept. I'm not familiar with that, but I wrote it down because I'm going to look into it.
Yeah, fractional investing.
Yes.
You had that 136 doors. What year was that in that you did that deal?
2022.
2022.
So we did
now,
year. Yep.
So now we're 3 years from now. It's 2025. Catch us up. What was the growth like from 2022 to today?
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Yes. So that one, like I said, we are co-sponsor on that one. And then a year later in 2023, we closed on a 48 unit. And that one, my husband and I, with two different partners, are lead sponsors. So we are the lead asset manager. We're on the call with the property manager weekly. So any sort of, and then investor relations, we're sending all that out to the investors. We raise the capital. We have some other co-GPs in that, but we are the lead GP. And then a year after that, we with different partners. So you can see the power of partnerships in
Huge.
the multifamily space. Partnerships are everything. But then we closed on, just in 2024, last year, we closed on a 113 unit new townhome community in Brentlinger Townhomes in Louisville, Kentucky. And then with those same partners that we closed at 113, we just closed this year on 99 units in Champlin, Minnesota. And that's a heavy value add property, but those are with different partners. So we have our core sort of group of partners that we've consistently partnered with since the 48 unit, and then the 113 and the 99. So we're going to continue sticking with them as lead sponsor, or as co-sponsors with them. And then the 99 unit and 113 unit are with a new lead sponsor. So we're really, so that was kind of confusing, but we are GPs, we're general partners, we're active partners in all of those properties. However, we're the lead sponsor on the 48 unit.
It sounds like 250 plus doors, 300 doors.
Yes, it is. Yep.
In the span of 5 years.
Yes, and then actually an interesting thing is we closed on our first commercial property. We live right now, we're renovating an old farmhouse in West Branch since we moved back to this family farm just recently. We bought a commercial building. It's an old bank building. It was built in 1908. We didn't want to rent a property while we were waiting for this farmhouse to be renovated because we're real estate investors and we don't rent. So we bought this building. It's an old bank. We're looking for a tenant in the ground, the floor level space, and then we are flipping the upstairs to an Airbnb. So it's kind of like doing a live-in flip right now, doing an Airbnb, and then there's a hair salon that we also own. So that's another commercial building we bought just this year.
Did I hear this correctly? You're living in a bank, to simplify things.
We are living in a bank, and that's what I would highlight too as real estate investors.
This.
As real estate investors, it's exciting. As entrepreneurs, it's always exciting. We are always, as a family, looking to add value. How can we add value? We're looking at how to use our farm to add value. So, I think it's such an important lesson to, as entrepreneurs, you have to get creative. And so when we decided to move here, rather than renting, we decided to buy something, buy another asset. I've never done a short-term rental. I'm ready to try to do an Airbnb. It helps with a tax strategy that we use. I'm a real estate professional, so I'm able to, that's a whole other story. But so some of these hours will help just some tax strategies that my husband and I use. But we're always looking to create value, and we're never, we're always looking for creative ways to do that. So yes, we
Yeah,
live
I
in an
know
old bank.
someone who's doing mini cost seg on their single family homes. So even the
Yeah.
home that he lives in, he's like, no, you need to be doing mini. I just got off a podcast, so I'm like, this is a great idea. Mini cost. I'm
hmm
like, how do I even find a guy that's gonna do that? He's like, well, you just ask him. Do you do real estate tax? Are you familiar with accelerated depreciation in single family
hmm
homes? And you do mini cost seg. I'm like, you know what? You're right. Those buzzwords would get me if I didn't know what you were talking about.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot to it. There's a lot to learn, but anybody can learn it. And my strategy to start learning about real estate was to get ahead of or to find the time of day that is your like power hour. And for me, it's before the kids wake up. Every single morning, I'm up 2 hours working on real estate. So find that power hour and work on your entrepreneurial, whatever that sort of passion is to create value. And real estate's a great place to do it.
So you're doing like 5 till 7 a.m. is power hours.
It used to be 4:50, like that was when I needed to get up, but now it's more like 4:30. I just needed a little bit more time. My kids are waking up earlier, so 4:30 to 7 really is when I'm up working on real estate.
So walk us through that, because I'm a big habits, routine, lifestyle person. I believe that the power, just like you actually, the power of your network and the people that you have in your life, that's exactly what your life's going to be. I can tell you my morning routine, but I'm curious to hear what yours is like.
Yeah, so I get up. I'm a woman of faith, so I do read my Bible. I think that's really important. I pray. I spend time with God, who created me and gave me this wonderful life. So I spend time with Him first, and then I actually Sunday night before I go to bed, I write a list of all the things. It's like a brain dump. I've heard people coin it that way. It's a brain dump. I write everything out that I need to do for the week. And then Monday morning comes and I just start going through. And towards the end of the month, it's a newsletter, it's investor relations. Towards the beginning of the month, it's different things like I'm writing grants right now and for this building and for some of my single family homes. It's just a number of different things, but I'm not sitting there on Monday morning wondering what to do because I've done a brain dump over the weekend. So I know exactly what I need to be working on. And I just go through the list, and whatever doesn't make it through that list just goes through my notebook on the next page for the next week. So I do that. I believe in working out. I have a home gym. I work out with really heavy weights, and I have a sweat session that's really powerful. I get that done, have a glass of water, and then my kids are waking up. So that's pretty much my morning routine.
I'm trying to get the home gym. Jennifer. I said I gotta get the home gym. I don't know. I have to get the home gym.
What's your hang up, you think?
The hang up is I don't own the real estate that I'm living at. I'm renting. So I live on this
Okay.
ranch, and I'm trying to get to your level. I'm 2 years deep, but give me some time. And I will. I've done 20 wholesale deals. We're gonna get our
Nice.
first fix and flip here in the next, let's call it 6 months. And then
Nice.
I'll have you back on. We'll have a different conversation here. But
That'd be wonderful.
yeah, and then I'll be investing in the Jennifer Fawcett syndication right out
That'd
there
be
in
great.
Iowa.
That'd be fantastic. Yes.
You'll be
That'd be
showing me
great.
the ropes. But I will say that there's just something about, I would say, that time period, like 5 till 7 a.m.
hmm
I call it, because things come up during the day. Like if I want to go, I'm in school. Also, I'm in a software engineering school, and I'm not doing that because I want to go be a software engineer. I'm doing that because I see that there's so much opportunity in the real estate space involving technology, CRMs, AI, calendar booking tools, text tools. I'm like, I
hmm
want to take all these passions that I have and mold them into one thing. And so I found like I just become way too busy during the day, and in the evening,
hmm
if I want to have any type of social anything, I have to carve out that time. So my morning's probably similar. You can relate to this. If it doesn't get done in that morning time, it's probably not going to get done.
hmm Yeah, that's very, very true. I think that it's a very powerful time, and you have to know, you have to have a plan whether you block schedule that time. Sometimes I've done that in the past too, where I've block scheduled Mondays, I'm going to work on asset management. Tuesdays, I'm going to work on writing that grant. Wednesdays, I'm going to look over my insurance policy. I mean, just just different, you might need to block out what you need to work on, because if you don't have it written down, if it's not there, and if it's not part of a larger goal that you have, then I think you'll just sit there and there won't be anything to do, because as entrepreneurs, we have to create value. There's got to be things to do. So that's why I do it the week before, or that's why I do it the weekend before. I have that list. So I'm not sitting down just, brainwashed of how to spend my time.
I think I might have to change my time blocks here, because now that I'm hearing you talk about it, I'm realizing I'll have like a 15-minute, 20-minute, 30-minute time block in the morning, and I'm like, you know what? I need to do what she's doing. I got to have one morning where I'm going to time block to engineering work, the next morning where I'm time blocking to writing offers, the next morning, because otherwise I might not be getting enough done here.
Yeah. And I think too, you just start going through your email for that morning, and you'll just get so sidetracked unless you know exactly how that morning is supposed to be spent. One morning should be dedicated to cleaning your inbox, maybe, if that's what you want to spend time on. But it shouldn't be that you start there, because that will take you any number of directions. So you have to have a designated time to work on the things that are going to create value and are going to get you ahead to where you want to be in the next, 3, 5, 10 years. So
amen to that. Jennifer, we are coming up on time here. Where can folks go to get a hold of you?
So hop on over to our website. That's www.vcpiowa.com. And on there, you can sign up for our newsletter. I send out a quarterly newsletter where I talk about an update, a personal update of our family. I also send out a market update in the markets that we invest in. You can hear about what we're seeing in the markets, where we're looking to invest. We like to bring 1 to 2 quality deals to limited partners, to investors who are looking for a place to put their money that is competitive with the stock market returns, historically better than stock market returns. So if you're interested in that, head over to our website. You can reach out to me, Jennifer@vcpiowa.com. I would be happy if you want to send me an email and you want to get in touch, set up a call. I would be happy to talk with anybody. That's exactly how I really got started, was listening to podcasts. And when people would come on podcasts and they'd leave their information, I would just call them up. I would just reach out to them, and I would just talk to them and just hopefully provide value to them, but also pick their brain a little bit, which I know is kind of frowned upon. But I just didn't really, people are just so willing. I am so willing to share what I've learned for free, and it's available. And I'd love to be available to people who have questions and would like to get started.
Jennifer, thank you so much for coming on the show here.
Yes, well, thank you, Dylan, for having me. I had a blast.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.